You ever stop to think about what actually happens to a software bug? Yeah, we see them as glitches, problems, just annoyances. But for this explainer, we're going to look at it differently. We're going to follow the life of a single bug, almost like it's the main character in a story, on this incredible journey from the moment it's discovered to its final fate. So, let's follow the trail.
Oh man, we have all been there. You click a button and nothing. You try to log into an app, you know you typed the right password, and it just says nope. It is so frustrating, right? But right there, in that moment of frustration, that's where the main character of our story is born. A defect.
So what exactly is a defect in official terms? Well, it's simple, really. It's a gap between what the software is supposed to do, that's the expected result, and what it actually does. Anytime a program misbehaves and doesn't do what it was designed for, that's a defect.
And here's that perfect example. The rule is simple. If you have the right password, you should get in. But what actually happens? The app throws up an error. That mismatch, that unexpected outcome, that is our defect. It's the first time our little bug has been spotted out in the wild. So with that, let's officially kick off our story. We're going to dig into the identity, the journey, and really the legacy of these little glitches that have such a huge impact on our digital lives. Okay, so a bug's been found. It can't just be left to wander around, right? It needs an identity. It needs to be documented. And that's where the bug report comes in. Honestly, you can think of it as the bug's official birth certificate. This right here, this is the bugs file. It gets a unique ID, a clear title, and maybe the most important part, steps to reproduce so that anyone can find it again. Now it also gets a severity, like how badly does this break things, and a priority, how fast we need to fix it. They sound similar, but think about it. A super high-severity bug that almost never happens might get a lower priority than a simple typo on the homepage that everyone sees. This report is the whole shebang. And here's our login failure all filled out and looking official. See how clear that is? There's no guesswork here. Any developer on the team can pick this up, follow those exact steps, and see the exact same problem. That kind of clarity is absolutely key to getting a bug fixed, and fixed fast.
All right, so our bug has its identity, its papers are in order, now it's ready for the real adventure. This is the defect lifecycle. It's the structured path that pretty much every bug follows from the second it's logged to the moment it's finally put to rest.
This is basically the roadmap for its whole life. It's born when a tester logs it as new. It gets its mission when it's assigned. It goes through a major change when it's fixed, then faces a final judgment during retest, and at last, it finds peace when it's closed. Let's break down that first step, because this handoff is critical. The tester who found the bug carefully documents everything. Then, a team lead takes a look and gives it to the right developer for the job. This is the exact moment the bug goes from being just a problem to being someone's specific responsibility to fix.
And this part right here is all about collaboration. The developer works their magic, implements a fix, and marks the bug as fixed. But wait, it's not over. The bug goes right back to the person who found it, the tester, who then has to verify that the solution actually works. It's this feedback loop that makes sure the problem is truly, really solved.
And this brings us to the climax of our story. The bug has been marked fixed, but is it really gone for good? This is the moment of truth. This is where the tester has to make a huge judgment call.
This quote just nails it. A developer might have fixed this symptom you could see, but the tester's job is to make sure the real underlying problem is gone. And just as important, that the fix didn't accidentally break something else.
And you know, sometimes the bug wasn't really a bug in the first place. A tester has to figure out if it's a valid defect, a real software failure, or an invalid one. Maybe it was just user error or someone misunderstood how the app works. Our login failure is only a valid bug if the user was actually registered to begin with. Okay, so you might be thinking, wow, that is a lot of work for one little bug. And you're not wrong. So why do teams track every single one with so much detail? Because each bug's story adds to the bigger picture of the project's health and its ultimate success. This number points to something called defect leakage. It's the percentage of bugs that actually slip through the cracks and escape out into the wild, affecting real users. And think about what that means for a business. Every one of those leaked bugs can hurt user trust, drive up support costs, and just plain damage a company's reputation. The goal is always to get this number as close to zero as possible. And then there's this metric, defect density. It's a way to measure the quality of the code itself. It tells you how many bugs are found for every 1,000 lines of code, or KLOC. If you see a really high density in one specific area, it's like a map that's pointing you straight to the most fragile, problematic parts of the software. By tracking this, teams can focus their efforts where it matters most.
A bug's journey doesn't just end when that status changes to closed. Nope, the real value is in the moral of the story. Every single bug is a lesson. It's a chance for the team to learn, to adapt, and to get better.
A fantastic way to do this is with a technique called the 5 whys. You don't just fix what you see on the surface, you ask why over and over again until you get to the real root cause. Why did the login fail? Well, because the database connection timed out. Okay, why did it time out? Because a new security patch had a stricter limit. And why wasn't that tested? See? By digging deeper, you don't just patch a tiny hole, you strengthen the entire foundation.
And finally, none of this works without clear, fact-based communication. A great bug report is never about blaming someone. It's a collaborative tool that saves hours and hours of guesswork. When you use a professional tone and provide solid evidence, you turn a frustrating problem into a shared challenge that the team can rally around and solve together.
So the next time you run into a software bug, don't just see it as a problem. See it as the start of a story of discovery, of teamwork, and of improvement that makes all the software we use better. Because a bug story isn't really over until we've learned its lesson. So let me ask you, what's the last bug you found teaching you?